All right. Hello. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Coming to you from, let me see if I can get this better. I got my TikTok. Oh, here's this thing right here. This is good. That'll work. That'll work. Look at that. That's a little better, isn't it? How's everybody doing this evening? Let me see if I can get them both together a little better. Um, it's what time is it? It's 8:24. It's about 8:30 here in Atlanta. Y'all can see the breeze blowing all out here around me. Ava and I just got back from our walk. Ava's working all this weekend. She's working in Milledgeville all day tomorrow, and then she's got something she's doing Sunday. She's going to be doing all day. So it's a busy weekend for her. On our walk, we were talking earlier about she's going to the Sundance Film Festival here in the next whenever out in Utah. And then she was telling me that her agents submitted her for an audition. It's just an audition for a play in Los Angeles, but if she's doing an audition in the studio right now to upload to them. And so, those things are 1 in a million that you get those. But if she got that, she'd have to be in Los Angeles for 6 weeks. And we were on our evening walk. We were just talking about maybe doing another road trip out to Los Angeles. And being that I'm retired now, if she does get out of Atlanta gigs, I guess that's what you call them, I love getting out and staying in hotels and traveling and seeing the world anyway. Anyhow, good evening, TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. I'm trying to hydrate. Just got back from my walk. Well, 20 minutes or so ago. Hey, James, going to be in Atlanta. Going to be in Atlanta Monday next week. Not this Monday, but because I work at Mondays at the shop. But this Monday, Ava's working for me at the shop. Hey, TikTok. Good evening, everybody. Y'all say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Set a spell. What kind of week y'all had? It's been a good week, hasn't it? I guess when I say that, I should preface that by saying it's been a good week for me. It hadn't been a good week for my niece, Debbie, who's in Decatur, Emory Decatur Hospital, and been in the hospital all week. And boy, she's got a rough way ahead of her to go. But it's been a good week for me. I've been working a lot in the garden, spending my mornings getting my hands dirty, but I always put on gloves most of the time, so I don't really get my hands dirty, but I'm doing dirt. So anyway, y'all, going to the Pearl Jam concert Tuesday with my BFF. Well, that ought to be fun, Mr. James says over on Facebook. But it's a beautiful evening here. A little bit of swirl, a little bit of breeze. Man, I guess it was about 5 o'clock or so. Just torrential rain for about 5 minutes, just like the heavens opened up. So just like the heavens opened up and it just soaked the yard good. And I laid down and took me a nap. A nap. Eddie, don't say nap. Say I laid down and took a nap. A nap. My friend John and Sammy used to always giggle at me and correct me and in some way make fun of it. Although I don't call it making fun, but for years ago, I would say instead of help, I would say HEP, HEP. So I'd be saying things like, well, I can't help it. And they're like, what is that HEP you talking about? There is no HEP. And over the years, they corrected me enough. Now I always try to catch myself and say, I can't help it. I put the L in there. In Cabbage Town, we had our own language. We take the L out of here. My Uncle Abraham, look at that breeze blowing, y'all. Look at that. just the breeze just blowing out here. My Uncle Aaron, he used to tell his wife Shirley, he said, Shirley, go in there and fix us a sandwich. He didn't put the W in it. Sandwich. He said, go make us all a sandwich, Shirley. And he said that until the day he died. And, so, but anyhow, good evening, everybody. Eddie William Sellers coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, sitting out here on my little back patio on a Friday evening. Hey, Miss Dora. Thank y'all for the roses, the hearts, the hellos, the taps, the that. And y'all tap that screen enough, it'd throw my algorithm out there where who knows, maybe there's somebody in Indonesia that needs to be told that it's a good day and they're special and loved. And good evening there. Inflappable memories. If I can't see that good, y'all. The camera's a little away from me. So a good evening to you there. Yeah, it's just been a beautiful day. And it's kind of weird. Like I was telling Ava on our walk, I'm like, it feels like Saturday today to me. Look at there. Thank y'all, TikTok. It feels like Saturday to me, and tomorrow's Saturday. And then typically on Sundays, I go to a place in Atlanta over at the Atlanta Theater called Metron with Jim Swilly. Well, that whole group this weekend is down at Driftwood Beach and Jekyll Island having a meditation weekend. And we had a room booked back a month or so ago for it to go. And then, I don't know, I didn't want to go and Ava not be able to go. And she's just got to get this stuff done this weekend. So we're going to have a staycation. But I was going to come by, but it's got late. So I'll see you over the weekend. Yeah, that's my daughter Heather over on Facebook talking. It has got late, Heather. Jill and Savannah, and I talked to Chance today, and Caleb, all of us is getting up Saturday morning and go. They want to all go to the Renaissance Festival here in Atlanta Sunday morning. And Jill was telling me we need to be there at 10:30 in the morning, which I'm like, I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You ain't got to tell me, but can you believe Jill's going to be up and be out there by 10:30? See you, James. You have a good weekend. Thank you for stopping by. Inman Park Festival tomorrow. Oh, yeah, there is an Inman. Boy, that's turned into a big thing over the years. I wonder whatever happened to the writer and actress that used to come into my shop, and I guess about 15 years ago, she was doing a series for Showtime, but she was the marshal of the Inman Park Festival one year. Her name was something, You're a Bitch, and she wrote a book about it, and they made a little series or something. But her and I guess her friend or her agent used to come into the shop and we'd talk about it. But she was a pretty big thing back then. I can't even remember her name. See how quickly we forget folks? But I had a friend, Nico, who owned a house, one of the nice houses in one of the little streets over in Inman Park back in the day. And we'd go over there for the Inman Park Festival and hang out at his house. Fun days. Inman Park's beautiful, isn't it? Just a beautiful little neighborhood of Atlanta. You have to have a lot of money to live in Inman Park. But so do you now in Cabbagetown. So anyhow, Ava's out there doing her audition. Yeah, isn't it? It's a beautiful neighborhood, Inman Park. The big old stately homes. Meg, my former wife, I try not to say ex, Xmas and ex-wife. My former wife, have you done the tour of homes there? No, I haven't. But I've known a few people that lived over there. Actually, an architect, and I call him a friend of mine. I've known him for 40 years, Keith. What is his last name? Him and his wife have one of the biggest, most elegant homes in all of Inman Park. But he comes he's getting some age on him now. So, then my friend Dave, who recently passed, who was living in Fort Lauderdale, he built a new home over there right off DeKalb Avenue, kind of in Inland Park. So, and then my friend Life and Leo, Life had a brain accident playing pickleball at the YMCA, but they still own an apartment building on DeKalb Avenue right there by that school, right there off DeKalb Avenue, like maybe a 10-unit apartment building. They lived up on the top floor, and they own Desperate Housewares over on Boulevard. Ain't I just telling y'all all my personal stuff? But so yeah, and then like I said, my former wife, her mom and dad and her lived on Harrelson, right off DeKalb, going down into Inland Park. And so when we were dating, I was 16, I was 17, Kathy was 16, and I drove this old beat up car, and we couldn't tell her mom and dad, we couldn't tell them that I was from Cabbagetown. I lived in Cabbagetown at that time, or they wouldn't have allowed her to date anybody from Cabbagetown. DeKalb Avenue was like a dividing line. The good folks lived in Inman Park. We were kind of looked at as white trash, lived over the railroad tracks over in Cabbagetown. So we told them that I lived in Forest Park. And back then, Forest Park was at least legit. It wasn't high end. It wasn't like north side of Atlanta or nothing like that, but at least it wasn't Cabbagetown. Little did we know that Cabbagetown would become the place it's become now, where if you say you from Cabbagetown now, you're like, oh my God, really? You live in Cabbagetown? It's unbelievable to get a place in Cabbagetown, so yeah, life's weird. I thought about this. Hey, TikTok, Eddie William Sellers, those of you passing by, sitting out in my little garden area in Atlanta, Georgia, coming to you on a balmy, breezy evening here in Atlanta. I thought about this. You walk by the little houses on Gaskell Street and Pearl Street and Astoria Street, and yeah, there's some fancy smancy houses over there now. Thank you there, Life of Rach. You're amazing. Tell Jill we miss her. Yeah, Jill, I tell you what, Jill got so repped. Y'all, my daughter Jill, she's on here too. We're about to go to Sarasota in the next couple of weeks, and she's trying to have a baby. How I don't know how you phrase that. Fertility clinic. And but Jill became fairly popular during the Harris campaign. She's got tens and tens of thousands of followers on her Facebook page. I think like 35,000 followers. Of course, not like the old man. The old man here has 125,000 followers. But she really was very outspoken. And yeah, WFC Dancer on TikTok says, I found you because of Jill. And then Felicia Treasure, hey, Eddie, hey to you, Felicia. Good evening to you. Yeah, so I was so cranked up in the campaign during that season that it rubbed off on Jill and all these people. I had to tell Jill, twins are common if you use fertility clinics. I heard, just beware. Yeah, hey, Matt, not only are they common, but Ava's dad is a twin himself. Him and his brother are twins. So the twin gene is real close. And then on Jill, on her side, her mama's brother and sister are twins. So there's a heavy twin component on both sides of the family. And that, let me see where I was going with that. And Jill's having 2 embryos implanted in her when we get there, unless something changes. So who knows? I could be a pawpaw to twins. Yeah, it does run on both sides of this child that's trying to find a way out. And y'all, she's tried for about 1.5 years now to do this, and this is going to be her last attempt to do it. Because my daughter Jill's in 43, so this is This is going to be our last attempt. So any of you people out there that believe in energy and powers and vibrations and prayer and Holy Ghost and deliverance and victory and all that kind of stuff, however you believe, I'm good with it. Over the next couple of weeks, when you do have your morning meditations or your nighttime prayers, just say, Lord, yeah, maybe this child would be born into a good situation, be raised in Cabbagetown, have a loving mama. Yeah. So who knows? Who knows? So anyway, but anyhow, what I was going to say about sometimes when I walk by all the old houses in Cabbagetown, oh, wow, we had a surprise when I was 40. Woo, it's a challenge when you're older with the little, Savannah's Jill's only child, Savannah, my granddaughter, she's 13. And Jill just told me, said, Daddy, I might not have another. She said, but I don't want to have regrets. I want to try. Just try. Said, I feel like I'm a good mother and I want to mother again. So if y'all have some kind of special, if you listen to this, you guru out there, you sage rattler, you good witches, all witches are good. If you think you have any special powers or concoctions, send it on down to Atlanta. Yeah, babies are so sweet, ain't they? So sweet. Neighbor of mine, Jim's son, Jonah, him and his wife just had a little girl. Lives, I can almost see their house from my house, just right up around the corner from me. Little tiny baby. I seen a picture of it yesterday. I'm like, oh, goodness, look how precious, just in the two little hands holding her. So sweet, so sweet. So, but anyway, yep, it's got dark on me out here, y'all. So maybe Sunday go to the Renaissance Festival with my kids and grandkids. Tomorrow, I don't have any plans tomorrow. Get up in the morning and sit out here in my garden and look at the heavens and write a little bit and just enjoy my Saturday. So, but anyway, y'all, I've kind of, y'all noticed I've not really talked too much lately about any of the political stuff or whatever. I'm trying. There's going to come a time where the forces, which are us, are going to galvanize again, to get motivated, to get recalibrated, to get energized, and to join the foray into the political world and battle. But like this evening and over the last few weeks, you got my brother Richard, he's in bad health. He's got my niece. You walk into a hospital, especially into ICU units, and you see so many sickly and dying people and people that that's fighting for their life. And, you have to have the wherewithal to not let Trump or politics in general occupy too much space in your head. And so I've just kind of been sedate with it, and not giving it a whole lot, because really ain't a whole lot we can do right now. When it gets to start getting time to get candidates ready for mayor, I have seen lately, and I know politics can be very divisive. And I understand that, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, I think they probably should be divisive. I think they should let you see who people are and what they stand for, and I don't have a problem with that. But so is religion very divisive. You can't talk about religion either, although I do. And but I have seen lately, I read a few articles where Keisha Lance Bottom is gearing up to run for governor of Georgia, and the dogs. I think that's, if the Democrats going to go down that road, we'll get beat in a landslide if Keisha Lance Bottoms runs for governor. She this is just opinion. She wasn't a good mayor in Atlanta, and man, they will, So, and then also I seen where that Stacey Abrams was weighing the possibility of running for governor for the third time. Hello, Miss Ava.
Hello, Mr. Sellers.
Come and join us. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give a former proper introduction. Get down, Gracie. To Atlanta's renowned, the one and only, Miss Ava Davis, star of short films, producer, writer. Are we working on a book together?
We are.
Yeah. Who was that asking me about a book the other day? Beck Cranford. She came out of the shop. Yeah. If some of y'all Google Beck Cranford, she's got a really good book out that she's written too. But anyhow, the love of my life, the one that I've made, we probably have 800 1-minute videos on TikTok of us dancing, and then I upload them on Facebook. And the thing about it is I do that for a couple of reasons. I started 2.5 years ago, going on 3 years now. The reason I do that, first and foremost, is to encourage other people to walk. Because when you click on it, we're walking. So it sows seeds like, get up and move. Come on, let's walk. And plus it gives me the opportunity to play the music that I love. It's just not random music. I'm like, oh, I love that song back from the 70s, So.
And I get the dancing that I've
always
wanted.
Yeah, Ava's prettied up. She did an audition. I was telling them that
Miss Kathy.
That your agent had wanted you to do an audition for a play coming up in Los Angeles that could run 6 weeks, and that we had talked about doing a road trip,
That would be so fun.
and that you are going to Utah for the Sundance Film Festival.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Look at her
doing things.
Think she's all whoop-de-doo, don't she?
The only
she's
thing
all
that
whoop-de-doo.
matters is right here. Hi, Miss Dora.
So anyway, I forget. Oh, the other well, just finish this thought on this. Nobody loves Stacey Abrams more than I do. She is phenomenal. I think it would be a mistake for her to run for the third time. The Democrats need a whole new voice, especially here in Georgia. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Jon Ossoff to hold his Senate seat.
That's scary. That is so scary.
In Georgia. But if he has somebody running for governor on the ticket that's going to drag him down, like Keisha Lance Bottoms, she will gin up the vote for the Trumpers to come out to vote against her.
Yeah.
And so it's real tricky, the politics that's going forward here. Georgia needs they need new voices. The National Party too, the Chuck Schumers, I tell you what, y'all, I can't believe that 80-year-old Bernie Sanders is now the leading candidate to run for the Democratic nomination. He'll probably get it, but he won't win in a general election. The country won't elect a Democratic Socialist or whatever he calls himself. I just don't think it will. I'll vote for him. I'll campaign for him. I'll get out and knock on doors. I'll call people. I'll sit on the corner and I'll dance butt naked on the streets of Atlanta, Georgia. If that's what Bernie Sanders needs, I think the Democrats just need a new way, a new voice, a new. So that's just me though. But I'm going to get engaged no matter what we do. So anyhow, good evening, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We are watching now three different shows. We're watching The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, yeah.
And I know some of y'all people, that's so ridiculously silly.
There's a monkey now.
There's a monkey now.
Why is there a monkey?
Because the daughter of the Gemstones, her husband was competing on a pole swinging contest and slipped and broke his back. Now he's crippled and in a wheelchair. So she bought him a little monkey. That's his servant that runs around. That runs around and gets his water and his Coke and all, a little monkey. So Ava was leaving the other day to be gone for a day or something. I told Ava, I said, I need me a monkey. Yeah. But anyhow, it's so ridiculous.
It is.
But for people that was raised up in crazy church world, where we knew the brother baby Billies, and we knew the preachers that were just shady as they can be, and it's hilarious to me. But I want a monkey, so
And I want a show called Teengus.
baby brother Billy, he's got him a TV show now. He's working on called Teengus, about the teenager Jesus, and the gemstone guy, he's like, no, not teen, just nobody. He said, it's going to be teen, just I say, starts quoting like the King James Version. It's hilarious. We're watching that. We're watching Hacks. Finally, after the 4th episode, which we just finished of Hacks, I love Jean Smart.
So
And Hacks has got good. Hacks. I thought the first 2 episodes where there's so much visceral hatred between her and her assistant, the head writer. It was. I don't like. I told Ava, I'm like, I don't like it, and but it's finally got good. And then we're watching *Handmaid's Tale*.
Oh my god.
Oh my God! Will they not? They're like zombies. Cannot these people just somehow find the way to be, whatever?
Some sort of resolution.
I'm ready for *Handmaid's Tale* to be over. We're living in the *Handmaid's Tale*. Praise be. Praise be.
Under his eye.
Under his eye. It's creepy, y'all.
I heard if Bernie wins, he'll stay in 100 days and then resign and let AOC be president. God, I wish.
Yeah, I don't think that's y'all. I tell you, maybe it's my age thing's going to come into play. I just don't think the country. I like Bernie. He's I don't know if he could get stuff done. I tell you what, as much as we hate what Trump's doing and how he's doing it, a lot of us on the Democratic side wishes like, why in the hell didn't Joe Biden do something? He sat up there. Why didn't he say, no, we're going to do X, Y, Z and screw him? Instead of all this. I mean, he let that guy be attorney general. That was just a dud. He let this Trump stuff just linger on and on and on. I guarantee you, if the shoe'd been on the other foot, Joe Biden would have been in jail in 6 weeks. I don't.
The country did the exact same thing after the Civil War and wanting to reconcile so badly that they passed so many things and were so appeasing when there was no need for them to be appeasing.
Yeah, Yeah, so anyhow, we're stuck with this now.
Money does talk.
AJ Moran. Hey, Eddie, great to be here once again. Thank you there.
Glad to have you.
Money talks. Yeah, it does. The weather's, I don't know where they say in other parts of the country, but the finish of that, money talks and bullshit walks. That's the finish of that line.
We do have a problem with repeating history.
We do. Biden should have touted his accomplishments more instead of he was silent so the people didn't know. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I've had time to digest and process this whole end of Biden's career. Or not the end of his career, but the end of his presidency. That was mishandled. Biden was slipping badly. The first mistake made a year before the election, he should have announced that he wasn't running, and we could have had an open and fair democratic nominating process where people could have voted and whittled down. And as much as I loved Vice President Harris, and nobody supported her more than I did, she would have never won the Democratic nomination if there had been a primary, because she floundered and flopped the first time she ran. But the whole thing with Joe Biden putting Garland up there because it was like he trying to get back at Mitch McConnell, or maybe he was a decent man that could have been the Supreme Court. That guy was a dud. What a dud he turned out to be Attorney General. He should have unleashed the hound dogs against Trump and all the Trump people.
It really should have been enforcing the rule
Donald
of
Trump,
law.
in all reality, should be serving time in prison right now. Thoughts on RFK Jr.? Creepy. I don't know about.
So freaking creepy.
I don't know another word to describe that man other than just he's creepy. We've all had people in our family like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. You've got some in your family. The Kennedys have some in their family too. His name is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Creepy. Just creepy. Yeah. So anyway,
Someone said it should have been Jack Smith. It was AG.
Yeah. Well, it should have been somebody that after January the 20th, it should have been somebody who had a big set of balls. Yeah.
Swinging for the fences.
Swinging, just a swinging. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, y'all, what do we got here? We got 30 minutes. We did 30 minutes. How about that?
Okay.
Said hello to everybody. Hope everybody has a good weekend.
I'm going to go edit this audition and then submit it to my agent.
Yeah. And we looking forward to having a good night's sleep. We're going
I don't have to work tomorrow.
Oh, so Ava doesn't have to work tomorrow now.
We got to keep that to ourselves because technically, if I'm not working, I should be helping out on film with a Zoom, but I think I'm going to take tomorrow completely off.
Yeah, you should. Because you've been busy every day this week.
I have been.
Ain't we whispering, talking to y'all, and y'all listening to us. Love y'all. We hanging up. See y'all.
Good night. I need to go get my mount thingy. Look at Boom Boom standing guard.
Oh, yeah. He watches for Pawpaw. He knows Pawpaw's out here. He's got to make sure don't nobody sneak up on his Pawpaw. That's that prehistoric DNA coming out in him. But I tell you what, though, when he does go to sleep, you could have a dinosaur to walk up on you and he'd never know nothing.